Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, I'm playing some Yuna enchantments in Standard Best of 1. Yuna is one of those Final Fantasy cards that I absolutely love, but I just don't get around to playing it as much as I would like to. However, recently I came across a list by somebody known as Matty Ice 131, and Matty Ice did very well with this deck. 68% win rate on more than 150 games, so definitely this list seems to have some wheels. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about the list, then hop into some games as usual. But if you want to help support me and support this channel, sub up if you haven't done so already. And more importantly, leave a comment down below. Let me know what cards you're looking forward to from Lorwyn. Lorwyn spoilers have fully released now, and I'm sure there's going to be some hype because that set is right on the cusp of release. Just not that goblin. You know, we all know that's a good goblin. We don't need to talk about that card. All right, so what's going on with this deck? Well, very briefly, let's talk about it. Yuna, Hope of Spira. If you're not familiar with this card, it's a 5 CMC human cleric, 3/5 creature. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have trample, lifelink, and ward 2. Sounds pretty good to me, right? Then at the beginning of your end step, return up to one target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. So the whole idea here is that, well, we have some ramp and we have some ways of putting cards in our graveyard. We have, of course, the Llanowar Elf to get us up to turn 3, which hopefully can, or 3 mana on turn 2, which then hopefully can get us an Overlord of the Hauntwood on the field, which means that we can get out a quick Yuna. Then we're going to be playing Dredger's Insight to put cards into our graveyard. Hopefully we put something like an Overlord of the Mistmoors, summon Knights of Round, or summon Bahamut into the graveyard, and, well, then bring it out and destroy our opponent with it. And then we also have this sub package of Kona in the deck. We're playing Kona with a bunch of the tap lands. We have the Adagia and the Evendo, so we can tap down our Kona and then trigger the survival ability on the Rescue Beastie to help us put some of these big cards that kind of find their way into our hand onto the field for free. Then we're playing one copy of the Sarima. This is just a cool little thing to go into our library, find one of these awesome enchantments that we want to put onto the field with Yuna and Kona. And then the final card to maybe mention is the Esper Origins, which is just really good value. It also helps us put cards into the graveyard with that Surveil 2 ability. So that is the deck. Hope it's going to work out. We're going to go and see in the arena if we can continue to climb through Diamond or, well, get beat down. Who knows? See you over in the games. Beerly Legal is up first. Okay. Barely. Beer. I don't even know how you would say this. Beerly. Barely. It is bear, but it's not barely. It's I don't know why. Ignore me. Ignore me. I woke up on a weird side of the bed. So we have our Llanowar Elf into Overlord, into, I don't know, Shurima. We got lots of good stuff. So we got to hope that maybe our plan goes properly. And hey, that is okay. If we can go with the Shurima to find a Kona, then we can put out a quick Bahamut. So I guess that is going to be the plan that we're going to work towards. We are against Izzet Lessons, which means that they have creature removal. So all of our plan has now gone completely out the window, and we are well and truly behind the 8 ball now. However, next turn, Sarima into Kona is not, I think, the worst plan. And if we're able to get this Summon Bahamut onto the field, we'll be in good shape. I would love to grab the Yuna here, but I just have to hope that they tap out or hope that they don't have a way of dealing 3 damage to Kona. I'm dreaming. I'm telling you, this morning, something delusional going through my head. Ooh, abandoned attachments. Okay, that's good. So they are digging into their deck. They can still potentially... They'll probably end up drawing a card with the Monument to Endurance here. Boomerang Basic into the graveyard. Okay. Did they find their second land? Is it a red source? Okay, Grand. Okay. So we get to do the fun stuff. So here we go. Kona. Now, do you do the Shurima? Other tapped legendary creatures you control have that, or this? I think you do Shurima. Okay. And then, oh, maybe you don't. Maybe you were supposed to do, maybe I was supposed to do the Adagio, because I think you blast Monument, right? Because now we can do this, and our Shurima is online. Why couldn't I attack with the Shurima? What did I move? Oh yeah, because the survival went past combat. That's right. That's fine. Still, so the Shurima is giving other tapped legendary creatures you control indestructible. Both of these have this is not legendary. Okay, just our Kona has indestructible, which is good. We want that to have indestructible so we can tap it down later on and put out other cool stuff. So this Grand is attacking in hopes and dreams. They're trying to dig for a way of destroying the Shurima, which is fine if they get rid of it with the combustion. They will still be down to just 1 mana, which makes our Kona potentially vulnerable, but we do still have a Summon Bahamut on the field, and we're going to be putting a whole bunch of other stuff on the field. So, man, come on, Wizards. Are you an indie company? What is this? Why do I have to suffer through horrible graphical glitches? I know people are not really playing Final Fantasy sagas all that much, but you could make it a little bit better. So Grand somehow survives. They, of course, were up to a whole bunch of cards in hand. Oh, they don't have to discard down. Hey, okay. They have, man, I've ranted so many times about the Lessons deck. How many cards did my opponent just play there? A little outrageous, isn't it? So do I smoke Grand or do I smoke the Artist Talent? They're both good. I think you hit Grand though, and I don't know if that's right. From here, we can, I guess you just put out the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Sure. Evendo, doesn't matter. Attack in for a healthy 9, and we put the opponent on quite the spot here. So they're going to have to figure out something. I'm going to keep my blockers up. I don't think it matters. Is there any reason to do these in this list? Okay, add green for each creature you control. May be good. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control. Okay, so maybe having the Adagia up or even the Evendo is not too bad, but I think this might be a little bit better considering we have some really good enchantments that we wouldn't mind copying. They have a firebending lesson for one of our moths. And of course now their Monument to Endurance is just going to keep cycling. Isn't it so wonderful? How do you feel about the Lessons deck? I would like to know some people's opinions. They're probably going to have one more mana here. There it is from the treasure, but I don't think they can use that 1 mana to get rid of the Summon Bahamut, so we should be okay. Oh, they could bounce the Bahamut. Okay. Man, this deck, it just has every single tool that you could possibly want. How many cards have they gone through? 30. Wow. Well, what's in our graveyard? Nothing's in our graveyard to actually bring back with the Yuna, so it's kind of useless. Which means I'm just attacking in with the 2/1, and then am I going to mist Moors, or am I going to... I think I missed Moors, right? The problem with the Mistmoor is that they have Iroh's Demonstration. Iroh's Demonstration just wipes everything out. If I put out the Overlord, the Hauntwood, it also just gets hit by the Combustion. So it's like everything in their deck is so efficient and so good against everything that people play. It just feasts on creatures. We'll station up this time. We should have stationed up last time. This Adagio should be up to 10 station, but that's not how we're losing this game, I don't think. I think we're losing this game just the fact that the Lessons deck is way, way, way too overtuned. Man. They didn't even need the Combustion. They just 5 damage straight to the Hauntwood for, I mean, okay, 5 mana, sure. But give me a break. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. We can put out the Overlord of the Mistmoors this time. We can also just put out the Yuna. More bodies on the field, or... I think it's actually going to be this, because I don't want them to have the Quench. It'll quench you. It's very possible that they have that at their disposal. They have 2 mana open. I don't think they've played a single Quench. So you have to imagine that they have 4 left in these 20, 30 cards that they have available to them. Every Lessons deck must be playing 4 Quenchas. There it is. So I guess you play it just to use our mana up. Cool. Auto pay. Yuna onto the field. We get back our Overlord of the Hauntwood. We'll attack in for 2. It's fine. And I guess I will use this. Why not? Okay. So again, good board. They have to do a lot of work here. We are up to Bahamut mana. We are actually going to be able to put Bahamut out for honest mana, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 mana. So we can maybe blast their Monument to Endurance. This card, I want to say that it's going to be hard for them to remove. It's actually not that hard for them to remove because they can just combustion it. Rose Demonstration to nuke our poor Moth and cycle through some more cards. Man, I would love this opponent to deck themselves. But if we make it to the next turn, our stuff gets... They're going to have more Rose to take out Yuna. It's possible they don't. We're going to get Lifelink. And if we get Lifelink, we are going to be in pretty good shape here. Firebending Lesson. Of course. It's non-stop creature removal. I just wish Wizards would stop printing. I know the cards, it's because they work together, but it's so annoying. So we attack in. They have to do something about this Overlord, so they're gonna have to put Mom in front of it. They probably have it another It'll Quench You, so I want to play out my Overlord of the Mistmoors. We're gonna have 2. Oh, they didn't have it. I'm very surprised by that. Okay. Well, I guess eventually they do run out of pieces. They haven't found any Storm Chaser's talents to be able to start pulling stuff out from their graveyard. So that is maybe a little bit of blessing in disguise for us. Like, they haven't put any in the graveyard, have they? No. So what? Maybe you could argue that they've drawn a little bit badly. They've just been drawing the spell side of their deck. Avendo is 12, so we'll tap down that, and then I may as well start doing this station. It's not... it might matter. We'll see. Okay, opponent barely legal, whatever your name is. You have a lot of work to do with 3 cards, but they do have a Monument to Endurance. They're desperately drawing. I would really like are these cards from 2024 or 2025? I don't know when this set actually came out, but I would love an older deck to be able to beat this new hotness. They are down to 4 mana. I was going to say 3 mana, but 4 mana. But 16 life, tons of life. Okay, I think we may have run them out of gas. 13 cards left in their deck. 11 cards in their deck. Get out of here with this flavor of the month. I really hope Lorwyn crushes the Lessons deck. I'm so sick of it. No, I didn't have fun because Lessons are not fun. Next one. Okay, pretty good opener. Bad Ferret this time. Let's hope we get some more good games going. Ooh, this hand. Man, if only we had an elf. But I think you have to throw this one away. It's just not going to do anything. This hand's not good either. But it's slightly better, and I think it's at least keepable. So we'll throw 1 Bahamut onto the bottom of our library. And so our plan here is Esper Origins, and this thing needs to hit so well, especially against this deck here. Okay. So if I keep the Overlord of the Hauntwood, that is going to be a turn 3, but I can't actually cast out the Overlord of the Hauntwood because I don't have an untapped 3rd mana source. So do I just got to put both of these in the graveyard? I think I do. I need to find my 4th land, I think, and the only hope for me is the Kona. and bringing it out for the Summon Knights of Round. I think my voice just cracked there. Wow, what a miss. So the Surima is good, but we just might die on the following turn. We need an untapped land. Unless we get an untapped land for Bahamut, we're done. Here it is. Dredger's Insight. Yeah, we're done. Okay. So what can you do? You stumble a little bit too hard. Wow. Okay, the deck really did not agree with me there. We can put this out. We can put it out on whatever beast. It doesn't matter. And we are dead to the double strike from Bad Ferret. This game went slightly differently from the Lessons deck. But you know what? I still don't mind. I don't mind losing to this deck compared to having to go against the Lessons deck. I understand like what Bad Ferret's doing here with this Orzhov list. It's fair. It's fine. They just played out 1, 2, 3, nice, cool aggro stuff. These are cards that are fair. Corpse of the Lost, a Most Helpful Weaver. I think this is a good strategy. But for some reason, the Lessons deck just rubs me so the wrong way. It's probably because the combustion technique, it can be a 1 CMC remove anything from the field card. I think that's probably at instant speed, mind you. That's why it rubs me the wrong way. Took a bad loss there. Game number 3, hopefully go a little bit better. I really hope the rest of these games don't go like that last game, because I want to be able to say that this Yuna deck is at least okay. But yikes, right? Well, what do you do with this hand? We don't do anything, right? We put down a Llanowar Elf. I guess we kind of work our way to a Yuna, but then I'm going to try. I'm just going to hope that maybe we hit an Overlord of the Hauntwood next turn. Maybe a Shurima would be okay. The Overlord doesn't really work here. So now we are just going to put this out, attack in for 1 against Dimir. And I don't know. Nice. Not Dimir. Okay, it's probably going to be Kavaro then. It is Kavaro. Everybody playing the same old stuff. Actually, one person commented on video last week, and they said, "Hey, you seem like a nice guy." I appreciated that part of the comment, and they said, "You seem like a nice guy, but this deck is just evidence of how bad Standard is. Everybody just plays meta decks, blah blah blah." And I in ways, I definitely agree. I understand the reason Standard on Magic Arena is the way it is. You know, the economy on the game kind of sucks. The whole point of the game is to climb the ladder for the most part. Most people are playing ranked. They want to get up to Mythic. So you're going to have people that are going to craft the best deck for the moment, and they're going to play that deck to climb the ladder. That's what it is. But it also so stifles creativity. But then when you look at what I'm playing, this Yuna deck, it's cool, it's cute, it's I'm going to have a hard time. I'm dead here, right? There's very little hope for me to be able to beat this Kavaro deck. If they go land Kavaro right now, it's just over. Another video that I put out recently, I had a little mini rant near the end saying that the gap between the S and the A tier is so unbelievably wide that it means that no other deck can do anything. So here we go. They had the turn 4 Kavaro. I didn't have built-in graveyard hate in my kind of fun deck here. So what happens? I lose. And maybe the problem is more that I'm playing best of 1. In my head, I keep thinking, I have to stop playing best of 1. I have to stop playing best of 1. But at the same time, I'm also making YouTube videos. I'm making content. I want people to watch the videos, and I want the channel to grow. And when I make best of 3 content, or if I make content for other formats, people don't watch it because people are kind of... I don't know why people are so attracted to Standard best of 1. It's kind of, in a lot of ways, the peak worst way to play this game. And yet it is the most popular way to play this game. And you get situations like this where somebody wants to play a deck that's pretty neat, and you lose to aggro, you lose to nonsense combos, you just lose to every great deck that's in the format right now. Wow, this is getting really, really down, this video. I gotta get a win next game to bring it up. It's a real wonder how the creator, Matty Ice, had such a good win rate with this deck. I'm sure the hands that you keep really factor into it. This hand looks okay, I think. We can actually start to fill the graveyard potentially, and we have the Surima to go and get Kona so that we can get maybe a Kona for the Knights of the Round on the field. But I think our opponent is not going to allow us to do that stuff very easily. Thankfully, we do have the Cavern of Souls for the Kona on Beast. I think we can protect it. Are they going to counter a Dredger's Insight? No. Okay, so we're just against Kona. We're just against... So here's another thing. We're against a deck that is trying to do what we're doing, but is doing it so much better than us. We'll grab the land. Yeah, I think it was... Was it always the land there? I think it was. Because we need to be able to play out the Surima. Although I can't actually play out the Surima. Now I can. Okay, they stumbled. Which is good. So let's pay the 2 life. Let's get this onto the field. And grab the Kona. What did I put into the graveyard? I did put a Summon Bahamut. So I could potentially grab the Yuna. But I think it's just got to be, hopefully they spend 1 turn digging. And they don't have a way of dealing with my Kona. Now, they can't counter it. They can't counter it. She's not a survivor, is she? We'll put her on Beast. But they might be able to bounce it or remove it somehow. It's our only hope, though. So we will load up the Surima. I think that's always the best play. And let's see if we can get a Knights of Round onto the field. It looks like we are. I wonder if it's better to put the Yuna on the field. The Yuna, and then the Yuna gets the Bahamut. We did the thing. However, we might still be in trouble here. We do get the Surima. We get a couple of stations. We'll go through the motion, but let's see if they have their turn for Kona into Omniscience to just bounce everything. I kind of feel like that's the way that this video has been going. There's no reason not to also do the Surima. All right, El Gambito, it's up to you to continue ruining my day. I got one good video, although even that Lessons deck, I think, had it gone slightly differently for the opponent, we would have been toast. But this looks okay. I just know if they have an Omniscience and a Kona, it's done. Okay, all right. Well, we were able to do our cheesy thing before the opponent was able to do their cheesy thing. And I guess we squeaked out a win. This video is... now I'm questioning it. Perhaps I have to change my mindset when I go into a deck like this. I have to not approach it as, hey, this is a cool deck that I think you can climb with. Because a lot of my... videos are that. I like to play decks that I think people can play on the ladder. I'm not going to go and play a deck and go into unranked and say, hey, this is a cool deck that you can play in unranked. Personally, I don't want to do that. Other people can do it. I know other creators do play off-meta decks, but they don't bring them onto the ladder. Magic's a competitive game to me. I think if you're going to be playing a deck, you should be playing it in a competitive environment and trying to make it work. But maybe go in with a different mindset, not the mindset of this has to win. Instead, go in with the mindset of let's just hope we can do the cool thing a few times. So what do we grab? Okay, so I guess we're going to go next turn Overlord of the Hauntwood and then try this Yuna to bring back the Knights of Round. We'll see. But we're against Kavaro one more time, so maybe I should have left the Yuna in the graveyard for the Kavaro, because you know what they're going to be doing soon. There's their Brood Spinner, so they get to Surveil 2, Block some more flyers. What cool art. That's Igor did a great job on this one. Also, this token is rad. Holy moly. And now things are sticking. Okay, so Multiversal Passage on green. We are going to pay our 2 life. We are going to get the Overlord of the Hauntwood onto the field. And now we are playing the Hope They Don't Have It game. Isn't it a fun game to play in Standard? Does our opponent have... to be fair, their graveyard is not nearly as good as past opponents' graveyards. That's a pretty anemic graveyard, to say the least. But they do fill it pretty quickly. They do go with the... Oh, Kavaro can take my Summon Bahamut. Or some... No, it's not Summon Bahamut. It's the Knights of Round. But it's just as bad. I forgot. They're using it against me. And we drew... we drew... Oh my god. Alright. Oh man, this is just... This video has just been a comedy of errors, hasn't it? There's our Overlord. That's good. I guess we grab this so that at least I can get the Summon Bahamut onto the field eventually. But now I don't have any mana to do anything with, so I just have to take a pretty nasty hit from Kavaro and all of my knights. These are my knights. This is not your knight. Man, what a card. What were they thinking when they printed this card? Oh, I know. They weren't. Because they don't think. Playtest? Nah. Modify cards? Nah. Bitter? 100%. Alright, we're dead, right? There's literally nothing I can do. Nothing. Alright, opponent. You did the cool thing. I mean, okay. Kona. Do they also have a way of removing my Kona before I tap it with this Evendo? Let's find out. I'm sure they do. Here comes the Bitter Triumph. That's what it is. It is. Guys, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I think I need next 2 games to go really well for me. Okay, Ronnie. I would really appreciate it if you could not absolutely clap my cheeks. That would be real nice. We'll try this hand. Sometimes when I'm sure all content creators do this, and maybe you can confirm some of y'all that make videos out there that do watch my videos as well. Sometimes when you're recording a video, you get to a point where you're like, man, is this just a scrap video? And I think I've talked about this before. Let's get rid of both of these. I've talked about it before. You just get to that point where you're like, this is not going the way I had imagined it. We should just scrap the whole video. Every single game is against Kavaro, and that's not fun. And you're literally just getting whopped, smackdown, whatever you want to call it, every single time. I got to put this out on Avatar, unfortunately, but it's fine because I get an everywhere land. Just getting smacked, and then you start questioning whether or not you should even bother putting out the video. But I am going to put out the video because there's one thing I am wondering. If somebody does play more Yuna and has made it to this point in the video, is it because of the hands that I'm keeping, or is it literally just hitting really bad variants or bad matchups? Like, obviously running into Kavaro nonstop has not been very good for me. I do get to do this, though, this turn. This is fine. But is it really? So what do I put out an Overlord of the Mistmoors. It's fine. It's not the worst thing to be doing. Like, this is a pretty good board state, right? And then we can actually get our Adagia up and running. There's no point in doing any more. How much does it cost? 3. So if I draw one more land next turn, I can actually copy maybe the Overlord of the Mistmoors. What do they have in the graveyard? Not a whole lot. Behemoth is okay. I got to be aware of that for future turns. But we're going to be able to attack pretty nicely. When does this make it? Threshold, whenever she attacks. So they're not going to get the big thing yet. But you saw what they put in there, right? It's every single time Bringer of the Last Gift seems to be in the top bunch of their cards. It's just the way it goes. Okay, from here, I'm going to attack in. Oh, I should have attacked. I should have done this. I'm just tilting now. Because I didn't... I figure if I attack in, they're just going to reanimate the Kiora. That's fine. It is what it is. I think we're toast here. They block, yeah. And I'm going to surveil... I'm going to try to surveil some good stuff into my graveyard at the very least, so that when they do Bringer of the Last Gift, they can at least help me out a little bit. We're going to get back Knights and an Overlord, which is not the worst, but they're going to get back a much better board. I don't think I can go around it. And they're getting back 2 Craterhoof Behemoths. So they just played their land. That forest was played this turn. So they got the Kavaro. I think they played the forest this turn. So are we 1 turn ahead of them because they stumbled? Wow. And how much damage do we have? 4, 8. We have 16 damage. Wow. What a weird win. That did not feel convincing. Man, this Yuna deck has to do everything possible to scrape by any win, and it needs to just get lucky as well. Okay, I got one more in me. I think this video is going to be fun for me to edit, because I'm pretty sure you're going to see a clear... I should put like a little... gauge or something on it to show how I'm like crumbling from enthusiastic and just like drop, and gradually over time I'm losing my mind playing this deck. It definitely feels that way. Okay, we are against mice to finish things off, and that's interesting. So we do have a turn 4 Kona, and once we get the turn 4 Kona onto the field, we can put the Summon Knights of Round, and the Summon Knights of Round is going to make it very hard for all of them, those mice, to get in. I don't think we're dead next turn. How could we possibly be dead next turn? Do I want to gain life, or do I want to ramp? No, I have to ramp because I played out the wrong land. So just poor play, but thankfully we're okay. We did conserve a little bit of... No, I should just put out. I guess it would have cost me 1 more life if I had done this. But we're at 18 anyways. We're fine. And I think we can... Maybe it's just been the matchups that have been extra bad for me. Because, to be fair, the matchups have been a little bit rough. Hey, Raging Battle Mouse. That's awesome. But now... I'm sorry? Hello? Okay. Kona onto the field. Opponent sees Kona, gets upset because Kona probably elicits a very similar reaction from opponents as Kavaro or any of the other things that I've endlessly complained about in this video. But we do get to put this onto the field. Knights around. Looks awesome. That's what we're here to do. I'm happy to at least say that we can do that. And then next turn, it's very likely that we'll be also able to put out the Summon Bahamut. I guess it's possible they could have a Shelter by Ghost for the Kona. But they have this Knights of Round that they have to contend with, and that's going to be pretty difficult to get around. They could use Shelter by Ghost to get rid of the Knights of Round, though. It does have Indestructible. So they would need that. But I imagine they probably do have it in this deck. Double Soul Guide Lantern. There it is. So do you take the Kona or do you take the Summon Knights? You take the Kona. I think that is correct. But now that Cheeky House Mouse is offline. That doesn't work, opponent. I'm so sorry. That sucked. It's indestructible. I know. The text, I will admit, is like they put all this stuff on here. And at the very end, oh, by the way, indestructible. Didn't see that, did ya? It's it's a part of these cards that I'm not a big fan of. But okay, we finish with a positive win rate through all of my whinging. Wrap up. All right. First things first, apologies for the complaining. I feel like I have been a little hot-headed in some of these videos lately and ranting a little bit too much. But what I would like to know is if you agree with some of the ranting that I've been doing, or if you disagree. Am I off base, or am I kind of saying stuff that people agree with as far as how standard is, opinions about standard best of one, what it's like playing off meta decks, and that kind of stuff. As for this deck, I still think it's kind of cool because I think Summon Bahamut and Knights of Round are both really neat cards, and I really want to play them more. And Yuna and Kona seem to be a perfect place to be playing them. Unfortunately, the matchups that we did run into were pretty difficult matchups. Obviously, we ran into a lot of like combos, and those combo decks were just a little bit, not a little, a lot better than our combo. So the Kona deck, if they had the Omniscience, they would have had us. The Kavaro decks, they have Kavaro on turn 4 after loading up their graveyard, they have us. We are doing a turn 5 combo, they're doing a turn 4 combo. So, of course, we're just going to lose to that. So, unfortunately, this deck has been power crept out of the format with the stuff that has come since, or it has been around. Kona's been around for a bit. Obviously, we're using Kona too, but they're using Kona Omniscience. Kona Omniscience ends the game on the spot, whereas Kona Knights of Round goes, hey, look at my cool knight. Isn't it so cool? And really, doing that only takes advantage of certain matchups. For example, if you go up against a deck that's playing very honestly like the Mice deck, they're going to have a really hard time with a turn 4 Knights of Round. But yeah, that's the deck. I still think it's cool in theory. Unfortunately, it's like a low C tier, maybe D tier deck. Again, hats off to the creator of this deck. Go and check out their profile one more time. Matty Ice 131. This is a remarkable win rate, and they went up against colorless 6 times. That is surprising to me. That's a lot of colorless. What did they lose to? A lot. I don't know. They just kind of have a really good spread against a lot of different decks. There's no like standout deck where they played it a lot. Of course, Golgari 6 games, but that's not too big. They played a lot of mono black, which is wild, and did quite well against mono black, and then very well against mono green, which we did not see much mono green. Did I see mono green once? I don't think I did, actually. So where would their Kavaro matchup be? Would this be Kavaro? Maybe? Or maybe this is Kavaro, which they just did not see very much. I saw more Kavaro in my 7 games than they saw in their 160 games somehow. This doesn't seem... Yeah, I guess that's right. That's wild. That's a thing. Anyways, let me know what you think about Yuna. Let me know what you think about the state of standard and all that good stuff. And if you want to hear more whinging, or you want to hear less whinging, also please let me know about that. Take care for now. Saranghe ippon na, and I will catch you in the next video. And hopefully it'll go a little bit more smoothly. See you then. Bye-bye.